Okay, we are skipping intro today because I had to make sure that we got everything set up and I wasn't properly prepared at the time. So we're going to skip the intro as you hear my dog barking. And this is episode 33. We are just going to be focused a bit more on upcoming releases and some of the stuff that we're currently doing. There's a lot of stuff coming up here in November, and I put first week of December games, but I was trying to see if there were any others that I wanted to highlight, and I was looking at some links and I couldn't find anything. So we'll focus on all the November stuff.
Generally, there's not a lot in
Yeah.
December. There might be one or two. Like usually, like when Smash comes out, it'll come into December for whatever freaking stupid reason. But
Right.
for the most part, December, October, November are the big months usually
Sure.
for the game
Sure.
releases. And we are smack dab in the middle of that right now on
Yep.
October 19th. So
Yeah, we're actually just about to ramp up here. As soon as the end of the month hits, we're just going to get stuff almost every week. Really, it certainly feels that way. So we'll kind of talk about all those games. We won't have necessarily video to show for those. We'll just sort of give a brief overview of what the game is, what we're excited for, or if we're excited about it. In some cases, we probably won't be as excited. And if we're going to get it or not. I think we should talk about if this is like a buy, if this seems like a buy based on what you've seen, or if we should wait and see. So please be sure, by the way, to keep in touch and follow us on Twitter, all that stuff. It's really important. We're doing what we can to keep these going. We like doing them. So show your support and let us know if there's other things that we can do to be a little bit better. We're always looking for that as well. I'm Otto.
yep,
Spoon.
I'm Spoon. Follow the Twitch. Subscribe to the YouTube. Follow us and the Myriathon on Twitter if you would be so kind. And help spread the word about the podcast when we go live to your various discords, and help retweet us and like and all that nonsense on
Sure.
on Twitter if you could be so kind. We'd appreciate it.
Yep. So let's kind of get into first. Let's start with news. You sent this to me before we even started, and I wish I could say I'm surprised, but I told you I'm not. Let me just switch over to it.
Of course we're not.
We've got NBA 2K21 quietly adds unskippable ads into loading screens. Nice little ads, unskippable ads there. Very nice, very nice. Feel like probably should have had different wording. So you found this, and I know a bit about 2K21 already because I've seen some games of it. By the way, if you're thinking there's anything different from this game, there are minor differences, and the only differences come in with like the My Team mode. Everything else is, I'm just gonna say it. It's basically the same. So I actually have the video for this. I'll also show the video. So apparently, this is the video of the unskippable ad for. This is Xbox One. I want to be very clear. This is Xbox One. I don't know if it's the same across all platforms. I just want to be very clear about that. Okay, so here's the unskippable ad. It's muted, by the way. This is the ad right here into the in the middle of the screen. It's basically a TV ad there. Time to break free. Is this like an Oculus Rift thing?
I know I've seen this ad
Quest,
somewhere.
yeah.
Maybe it was on Twitch. Maybe it was on Twitch. I don't remember. I've seen this ad before though.
Yeah, that's usually what happens here, just in my experience, is they do the 2K TV thing. It's their like in-game TV show, okay? I think it's totally fine. It's okay. They just talk about the game. It's a TV show that talks about the game itself.
I mean, I guess the ad is kind of harmless because it's just like during a loading screen and like there's nothing going on.
Right.
But it's still kind of
But
bleh.
I don't want ads, and can I just say it? I don't want an advertisement like this in a video game. We already get ads in sports
I
games in
don't
particular, where it's like Gatorade. They have like a Gatorade sign. More or
and I
less
know
okay, in my opinion.
I know the neighborhood mode or whatever it is just plastered with like billboards and ridiculous ads.
Oh, it's gross.
Reese's colored quartz, which you've complained about before.
Oh god, it's gross. It's actually gross. It feels like disgusting when you look at it.
There's enough ads in real sports on TV. It's just the baseball playoffs are in October, and I'll just bring this in real quick. We generally don't talk about sports much on this show, but I am a baseball fan, and my team, the Dodgers, are going to the World Series, so I'm pretty happy about that. But anyways, the playoff games are just so long.
Yeah.
They're just so long. because the ad breaks feel like they're in the regular season. The ad breaks are like, I want to say 2 minutes or so. In the postseason, they're at least 3 minutes, if not like 4 or 5. Some of the
Sure.
ad breaks are just exceedingly lengthy.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, can we just cut this down? Like, every game I've watched has been minimum like 3.5 hours, but most of them are like 4 hours. And regular season games generally hang right around 3 hours. So it's just, yeah, we get enough ads.
We get enough
don't
stuff,
need
yeah.
more.
One thing I want to highlight here, I just read this. NBA 2K21 does offer the option to interact while matches load. This is true. You can edit your lineups while a match loads. Actually, I think that's a nice little feature because you can change defensive assignments, which can be really important depending on who you're playing against. But while the commercial plays, you can't do that. That's a yikes for me. It's like, oh, the commercial's playing? Your undivided attention must go here. You can't even touch the lineups. It's stupid.
Can't distract you from our super important ad.
So, the advertisements have been confirmed on current gen consoles, which we just saw, but it remains to be seen whether they will be present on next gen. If they're present on next gen, which by the way they probably will, because I don't know how the sports game community backlashes on this compared to anybody else, but this is like, well, with UFC there was a huge backlash, but who knows? There might not be with the 2K community. We have no.
That wasn't a loading screen though. That was like in the middle of a match. I don't think it was right in the middle of a match. Right. But it was like during a replay.
Yeah, it was
or
during
something
a replay.
Like that.
Yeah,
it was during the game. It wasn't just
true.
a loading screen. So
this is true.
Again, it's not good. I don't want to see it, but again, it's not quite as offensive as the UFC one because again, it is during a loading screen.
Right.
So you don't. I mean, you do have things that are better to do than watch an ad, but just for argument's sake, I'll say you don't really have anything better to do than watch an ad from their perspective. It's like, well, we better fill this time with, we could throw an ad in here. It's just a loading screen. Who cares?
Which again, it's like you normally can change your lineups during this loading screen, which I like, but
yeah, there's that. And the problem is also if the ads get lengthy enough that they like don't complete, the ad isn't done when the loading screen is, and you have to like wait for the ad to complete before you can get out of the loading screen. Then we're talking about more problems.
And we know next gen loading screens are going to be faster. So there's actually not going to be space for that on next gen because next gen loads are supposed to be crazy fast.
They're
going to be. I imagine they'll be really fast. So this hopefully will not be a thing on new gen, but it will be. I know at some point it will be. They keep doing it. The sports game folks keep doing it, and I don't know why it's. I do know why it's done, but I don't like understand why they keep really pushing this agenda to the point where it's just like you've been told multiple times by players we don't like this. And you constantly keep bringing it back. This is, I think, the third time NBA 2K has done this. I want to say it's the third time. And I've seen the in-game ads from 2K games when I've played some of the older versions. They put ads in it. Yeah, they put ads in it. And it's just like, just stop. We've told you many times. Stop.
2K can't resist. When Reese's comes up to them like, hey, you want this money? Put some ads in the game. Yeah, there you go. You want that money, don't you? Yeah, you do.
Oh yeah, no, they do. And it's crazy with certain things. Again, like with Gatorade, that's like for the most part, it's harmless because Gatorade is central to sports. It's harmless.
I feel like Gatorade sponsors every sports thing ever because every sports league, even real sports, you see they have like Gatorade everywhere on. In the dugout or on the sideline, whatever it is. So,
mostly harmless. It's the same with sometimes in movies when you get like a subtle ad. Like you see like a name brand subtly sneaks in. It's an ad, but it's kind of harmless. Like it's harmless at times, but in this case, it's like it's so in your face that I hate it. Especially the ones that are like in the middle of a loading screen. It's advertising the Oculus, which I don't even know if you can play this game in VR. So it's like, what's the point of this then? This isn't even like promoting the ability to play the game with VR. It makes absolutely no sense. So I am just utterly confused, and I don't like it as I'm getting Discord notifications.
Yep. No. I mean, more more of them just trying to push the line further and further in sports games and see how far they can get without people getting mad.
Yep.
So I don't know.
Okay. So we've set our piece here. I don't. There wasn't anything else I saw for our news. Prone obviously to change. Maybe something happens. I'm actually going to do something super quick. So the production is going to look a little funky for a second, but that is because I'm going to throw on Do Not Disturb mode so that I don't get pinged anymore. And we will talk about upcoming game releases. So we have a list on our Google Doc, and I'm more
Do
than
we
comfortable.
want?
Oh, go ahead. What were you going to say?
Sorry. Before we hop into upcoming game releases, which I think is going to be the majority of this episode, do we want to real quick talk a bit about Genshin, or do we want to do that later? Because there's a new banner. There was the co-op event last week. I don't know if we want to do some comments on that and any other new comments we have on Genshin.
Yeah, no, that's a good point. Let's spend some time a little bit on it right now. Let's do like,
Okay.
can we do like 10 minutes?
Yeah,
Maybe.
that's fine.
I don't think it'll take longer than that.
I don't think it'll take long at all. I mean, we've done a couple of episodes on Genshin already, so
Yeah.
I think we've gotten most of what we have to say
Yeah,
out of the way already.
let's keep it light here. So we had the co-op event were the big things. The co-op event was a big thing, and the new banner is a big thing. So maybe I'm just going to focus on those two for now. I've said my piece on Resin. I don't want to say anything else.
Yeah, it's bad. Apparently, they're working on it, so hopefully we'll see a change, maybe with 1.1.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Who knows?
The event, gacha events in general are not super interesting. In other gacha games, it's basically like either you do a bunch of different quests, and then there's possibly like a raid or something like that. For Christoria, you do like a couple quests in a raid with a bunch of people, and you just sort of spam the raid. It's intentionally that way because the game itself isn't overly exciting to the point where you're actually interacting with an environment. It's a bit of a different scope. So when that's the event in Tales of Christoria, when it's just very simple, I'm okay with it because the game wasn't made to have this unbelievably epic 2-week event. This was a 1-week event, correct? This was just a 1 week, or is it?
Yep,
I think
1
it's
week.
done.
Just last week it's done.
Yep. Yeah, this was boring. This was a boring event. It for the co-op side of it, it worked okay, but the composition of the event felt like something they just like quickly came up with in like a week. It was boring. It was like once you did it twice, you were like, okay, this is why do I need to do this 20 times? It was short, which was nice though. It was like only 3 minutes, so it's good that it's short. But it was so uninteresting and boring. I don't know how other people felt about it in the community, but I was very happy to be done with it once it was over. I was like, okay, thank you for the rewards. They're pretty nice. The rewards were pretty good, but this was a boring event. I don't particularly fancy picking up cubes and turning them in. I don't particularly fancy that as like your first event. I would have appreciated a little bit more, maybe a co-op based boss fight as an event. That would have been pretty cool. I'm a little bit surprised they only had this like collect cubes thing, which is it's like super boring. It's for me it's just not an interesting event. And
I feel
other games do this, and like Destiny 2 is notorious for doing stuff like this in my opinion. They have like these super boring like collect stuff, put it into here thing, and yeah, you just like, okay, you're just going through the motions with it, get the rewards and get out.
yeah, you just grind it out to do the rewards and then you're done with it and don't play it again because it's boring.
Yeah,
and sucks. I agree with pretty much everything you said. This event was really boring and underwhelming. I mean, some of the rewards were okay. I guess you got a ton of BP experience, which was kind of nice.
That was really nice
for it. Especially with some of the weeklies being kind of hard to complete, especially the resin one.
Yeah.
And And I had an issue with the one quest that was like you have to do it at your own world level within 3 minutes or whatever. Because I literally never found a game that was in my world level. I always got put in a game at something lower than my world level because
Yep.
I'm like AR 35. So
Yep.
I didn't actually complete that one, and I didn't want to like have to keep queuing and like re-queuing until I finally got one at my own world level because I just didn't want to do that. So whatever. I just punted on that particular quest and just was like, yeah, I'm not gonna do this. This is
Sure.
stupid.
Right.
And yeah, I think partially maybe this was a bit of a stress test on co-op, since I don't get the sense that a lot of people play co-op in Genshin because honestly, it's not good. Um, so yeah, maybe it was a bit of a stress test on co-op, see what their service can handle, and etc. There were definitely some bugs. There were some games that we got into where we like couldn't pick up the cubes or couldn't deposit the cubes or whatever, something
Yeah.
like that. So there's
No,
definitely
yeah, it was buggy.
some desyncs and some bugs with the co-op. And yeah, I agree. The event was really boring. I would have liked to see a more elaborate quest chain and some more like adventure rank rewards along with that. But yeah, this was very bare bones, very boring. Even like it didn't take that long to complete the 20 tries, but I feel like they are being, and we've talked about this, especially once you get to the higher ARs when you've completed most of the quests and
Yeah.
gotten a lot of the chests and stuff, like the primo gem gain rate is just so terrible. I feel like they need to give more primo gems for these events. I would like to see at least like 1,000 or something like that. Like give me, or even they are not going to break the bank if they just give us all a 10 pull for completing the event. Give us 1,600 primo gems to do a 10 pull.
Mm-hmm.
Like obviously they're not going to do that because it's a gacha game and they don't do that. But I'm just saying I don't think they would break their economy and they would lose much money if any if the primo gem game rate was just a little better, or as we talked about before, there was actually a daily login bonus for non pay me $5 for a month or whatever. And they're back to doing the daily login bonus is back this week for a week. It's not all primo gems, but you get 300 primo gems again, and then like some adventure XP. No, sorry, some character XP books, some Mora, and probably some weapon XP things as well. So you get some rewards for daily login again. But again, I think that thing goes for 2 weeks, but there's only 1 week worth of rewards, so you're kind of just hosed for one of the 2 weeks. And I don't know why they just don't make this daily login, this 7-panel daily login thing, just like, why isn't that just a thing every single week? It doesn't. There's no reason for it.
It should be. It just should be. It really should be. Because for I'm at Adventure Rank 35 right now, and like leveling up characters is becoming really, really challenging to the point where you don't have enough experience books to level up all these characters. Yeah.
And it costs a crap ton of Mora to level them.
Level
them up.
So you're just like kind of in a tough spot at this point. I think it is a problem. So the other thing we sort of had here was the banner. I haven't gotten, I obviously we can't pull from the banner today. We can do it tomorrow, I believe. It's supposed to come in tomorrow. So
oh yeah, I did log in today, and all the standard banner was there. That's right.
It's going to be tomorrow. They're waiting. Yeah. It's going to be tomorrow. It'll be the new character Klee, who throws fire bombs, which I like her. I like her a lot, actually. She's gonna.
Did you play her? Did you play her quest?
Yes, I did. She's fun.
You did play the quest.
I also noticed. I didn't even notice it before, but you get quest keys to unlock other quests. I didn't even notice this was existing before, but you use like quest keys, so you can unlock quests, and you get these keys from daily commissions, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah. So, if you do your daily commissions every day, you get half a key basically, and you can store up to 3 keys. I think it's basically just. It was just a measure to like prevent people from blowing through all of the content in like 2 days.
Yeah.
So at least for those like last 3 side quests that are 32, 34, and 36, they wanted people to actually have to wait a couple of days
Correct.
before they completed those. That's the only reason I think that mechanic exists,
Right.
which is fine. For the super no-lifers who just played like 24 hours a day for the first couple of days and got to like 30 or 35 like right off
Yeah,
the bat.
I mean,
So
people grinded this game like crazy. Like we've seen it. People are. I've heard people are like almost done with the battle pass already in some cases, which I'm just amazed. I'm just
I'm sure
amazed.
there are some. I
'Cause
feel like that's not even possible though, because you only get 10K a week, can't you?
some people. Somebody told me they were on like level 30 something of the battle pass, like 38.
The,
I
the,
was like, that's crazy.
the
Wow.
10K a week can't be a real limit though. The game's only been out for 3 weeks. Like,
I have no idea. I've just seen people say they're at a
and
very
yeah,
high.
honestly, I'm at like 29, I think. So
Yeah,
yeah,
I'm
I
around
don't
there
even
too.
know.
I
That
don't know,
doesn't make sense.
but there are people who are really high right now. So, yeah, the banner. I mean, we'll see with the banner. We can't, you can't pull on it. But the other 4-star characters are Noelle. There's the Sucrose, and I can never remember the water guy's name.
The
I don't
water
know.
source. I think it's Jingsho. I
Jingsho,
think
yeah.
that's how you
I think
pronounce
that's
it.
probably
But
it.
they do say it in the story a couple of times. I think that's the way you say it, but I've never taken Chinese. I don't know how to pronounce Chinese, so if that
Okay.
was incorrect, I apologize. But I think that was how they said it.
So those are the 3 4-star banner ones. Pretty underwhelming compared to Fischl banner, basically Barbara and Fischl
And
and
Xiangling, yeah,
Shanling,
that
who
was a
are
really the
all
first.
good 4-stars. Like all of them are
Yeah,
good.
all good 4-star characters. Yeah,
So definitely playing on that
Sucrose
one.
is. I have Sucrose, and I know people say that she's bad, but I don't know why people say she's bad. Like, she's not the best character in the game. She doesn't stack up to the 5 stars, obviously. She's not as good as Fischl as far as 4 stars go, but she's not a bad character. Especially, okay, maybe with 0 constellation, she's pretty bad,
Mm-hmm.
but with 1 constellation, it gives her a second charge on her basic ability, which is just really good.
Mm.
So if you get 1 constellation on her, and I heard that some of her later constellations are actually like maybe her 4 and her 6 are really good too.
Okay.
So if you spam the banner and get a ton of Sucroses, maybe a useful like support
Yeah,
unit.
because we
I don't.
know like Fischl was completely broken,
Yeah,
and
I don't think Sucrose is as bad as people say she is. Like, I don't know. I feel like there's this. The community just says that she's a bad character, and I
well,
just don't agree. I just don't agree with that. Like,
yeah, there are some characters that I feel like in the right environment are playable and okay, but I mean people have the broken ones, the 5 stars, and Fischl. Hopefully Fischl gets nerfed soon because she's dumb, and she's really just dumb. And yeah, there are some 4 stars that people just universally know are very good, like Xianling. She's just very good. Barbara is just if you don't have any, like if you don't have Jean or something like a 5-star, Barbara is a great healer. Great healer. It's just like Fish, but yeah, Fischl. I think to Ghost. I'm sorry, Ghost, but Fischl needs a nerf. It's her attack speed is just too high for
yeah.
her. She's supposed to be a support of some kind, I feel, and she's the one of the better DPSs in the game.
Yeah, what I read is that what I read initially when they were talking about the nerfs is that they were going to nerf her attack speed, but which is, I think that's a reasonable nerf. She seems to have a much higher attack speed than any other archer in the game, though I haven't played with any of the other archers in a while.
Hers is faster. Hers is the fastest.
Um,
it's just easily the fastest. Yeah, we understand it's a single player game, but for them, I think their main concern is there's like some other stuff that they're concerned about with Fischl, but yeah, she just does a little bit. I think she does a little bit too much, even with the understanding that it's a single player game, to some extent. Okay, so that's any other stuff we want to sort of add on to that before moving to new releases, because I don't have anything else to say about the banner. It's
yeah, no, not really. The banner is. I think they're going to be a new weapon banner too, but I never pulled on the weapon banner and probably won't. I'm not sure. I mean, do you think you'll pull on the new banner? I'm not sure I'm going to be honest, because I have Diluc already, who I'm really happy with for like main DPS 5-star pyro character. So I don't like. Klee's cute, and yeah, I played with her. She seems pretty good, but I'm not like
I would like to increase
I don't.
constellations on some of these characters that I have, and the banner is a good way to increase constellation.
Oh yeah, I would say for the 4 stars for like Noel or
That's the best
whatever.
way to
Okay.
get constellation
Yeah.
progress for some of them. I know Noelle is not very good, but I use her against other Geos. Geos, they need a new Geo character, by the way, that is playable. Because all the other Geo characters we have are not playable right now
Yeah.
in any
The
capacity of, oh, I need to really push through Spiral Abyss or something. Noelle is a good Geo to break down Geos, but that's really about it. So
yeah
getting her
the
constellation up would be nice.
again with the rumors, we believe we're gonna get a 5 star Geo character in
Gosh,
the
I hope so.
next
Because Geos are
in
bad.
the
The
patch
Geos are
in
so bad.
1.1. It's gonna have you did you finish the story?
I did finish the story, yes.
So yeah, it's again, the rumor is it's gonna be Shang Li, the guy who like is guiding you along on the fetch
Oh yeah,
quest.
yeah, he's pretty cool.
Um,
He's pretty cool. I would like him to be the
um,
5 star. He's the Geos are bad. That's increasing Noelle's constellation would be nice. I think. Just I want to see how much progress we can get her from her, because right now Geos are in a terrible spot.
yeah, no, Geo. We talked about it before, but Geo seems like a very weak element compared to
It
pretty
needs
much
it
everything
needs
else.
something. It's only good against breaking itself down. That's actually the only use for it. Is, oh, you got a Geo enemy? Well, better get a Geo out to break it down. Other than that, that's it. It's good against. It's good for mining resources too, I guess. Very a little bit faster, but
Yeah,
yeah.
so I'm actually not sure I'll pull on the premium banner. I mean, not at least like go for it because I don't use Noel anymore. Xing Cho seems okay. He actually seems pretty cool, but
He's
I
a
don't.
solid support. Not great, solid.
Yeah, I don't super care about him though. Was and Sucrose. I already have Sucrose. I guess I could go for more constellations for her, which wouldn't be bad. But I feel like if I get lucky again and pull like another 5 star, Sucrose is going to be the first one that gets dropped out of my party.
Sure,
So
sure. But
yeah, and yeah, Klee again. I'm already happy with Diluc as my main DPS like pyro character in my main
okay,
party. So I'm not super into like going hard to pull for Klee. So
okay.
when I pull, I'll probably just pull on standard for the most part. To be honest, during this banner, I may pull on the new banner like once or twice. If we'll see,
Yeah.
but
Okay.
yeah.
I'm gonna get rid of some stuff here. The NBA 2K windows. So okay. Let's see. So I'm gonna actually pull up. I'm gonna delete the thing you had here. I'm gonna pull this up, and then I'm gonna swap to the back to the other screen, because, and then I'm just gonna increase the size of this a bunch and bold it so everybody can see. If you're interested in what we're about to go through. So, well, you added this first one, and
Yeah.
I'm going to be 100% honest. I know very little about this game, so I'll let you take the floor on this one.
Yeah, fair enough. I mean, I've talked about this series a bit on the cast slightly. It's developed by Nihon Falcom, who's the developer of Ys as well. These are their two main series, Ys and the Legend of Heroes Trails series, or in Japanese, the Kiseki series. And yeah, Cold Steel 4 is coming out next week on Tuesday, so a week from tomorrow,
Mm-hmm.
if you are watching this live. And yeah, this is the fourth game, obviously, in the Cold Steel saga, the ninth game in the series overall, and the end of the Cold Steel arc of the story, which obviously has spanned 4 games or 3
Yeah.
games up to this point. This one being the fourth one, so it's the culmination of a lot of things, a lot of characters, a lot of plot points. Hopefully, we're gonna get a lot of resolution and hype end game moments in this game.
Oops.
I can't really talk about much more about it without spoiling. It's a very character world and story driven series, so if I go too deep, I'm just going to spoil
Sure.
everything. So I think I
Okay.
won't say much more other than that. Myself and anyone who has been following, like myself and Ghost, and anyone who is a big JRPG fan and has been following this series, I'm sure is very excited for this release next week. Also, the game has been out for, is it 2 years? I think it's been out for 2 years in Japan. I think it came out in
Wow.
18 in Japan, or maybe it's either a year or two. I don't remember now if it came out in 18 or 19 in Japan, but it's been
Okay.
out for a while in Japan. So those who couldn't wait could have played the Japanese version. But this is
Sure.
the official English
Okay.
release of the game.
Okay. Just to be clear, I did mention we do this before. If is this a buy game or is this a wait and see game? Just to be clear,
For
assume that
me,
the person is interested in the game. They're a fan.
I mean, if you're a fan of the series, you've played all the previous games, and you are into the series, this is a no doubter buy because it's, as I said, it's the end of. I mean, that's not in the title for the English release, but in the Japanese subtitle is end of saga or something like that. It's
Okay.
like the end of a very long saga of the series spanning 4 games. There's going to be a lot of hype moments and culmination and
Sure.
resolution in this game. Obviously, the series is going to continue after this. There is actually another game in the series that has come out already in Japan after this one. There's a bridge game between the Cold Steel arc and whatever the next arc is going to be.
Okay.
But there's going to be a lot of rap in this one, and it's going to be super hype and exciting. So yeah,
Uh,
if you're a fan of the series, it's a definite buy. If you haven't played the series yet and you're a fan of JRPGs, I definitely recommend giving it a shot, but not with Cold Steel 4 because you are going to be lost. So
platform. I assume PS4.
PS4,
Okay.
and it will be on Steam and Switch next year
Okay.
sometime.
Got it. Let me. I found the strike
Yeah,
through. There we go.
and if you are interested in the series in general, all the games are on Steam. All the previous games, I should say, with the exception of the Crossbell arc, which has 2 games. Those haven't been released in the West yet. Um, but if you want to start the series, I recommend starting either with the Cold Steel arc, with Cold Steel 1, or if you want to start at the very beginning of the series, um, start with Sky 1 or Sky FC, which is on Steam.
Okay.
So
Got it. Okay. Next on our list, so October 29th, end of this month, 10 days, Watch Dogs Legion. So this is the game that's the third game in the series of Watch Dogs. Watch Dogs 2 came out a couple years ago. This one's set in London, I believe, is where it's going to be set specifically. And the general idea of the game is you build a collection, we'll say, of characters to use for your missions. Previous iterations of the game, you played as a single character. This game will have you play as any number of characters you desire, but you must recruit them. So it's also more. This game has always been big on the high tech. So it's not just you going in guns a blazing. The idea is you typically use different tech tools to get the job done. This one's going to be a little bit different because not every character is going to be in the realm of high tech. They're not supposed to be like a hacker nerd as the others are supposed to be. But I imagine though there'll be some aspect of there's this high degree of technology in use and you have to exploit it in some way. So October 29th is it's releasing. I assume it's going to be releasing on all possible platforms that it can release on. So PS4, Xbox, and next gens as well. I imagine it's going to translate over to next gens and PC, where it'll come out on Uplay and probably Epic Game Store. But I don't know if these things release on Steam. I think they do actually. I think Ubisoft does release on Steam. You just have to have Uplay anyway. So, yeah, for me, this is I can't buy it obviously day of because I have midterms, but this game, if you're a fan of the series, if you liked Watch Dogs 1 and 2, I liked Watch Dogs 1, I liked Watch Dogs 2, I feel like you're going to enjoy this game. The concept is very interesting. So for me, I would say if you're a fan of the series already, you should probably get this. I will probably say if you're getting it on console, you may want to consider, especially if you're getting the new console right away, to just wait till it comes out on next gen. I know there's no reason to not buy it now on a current gen and then just get, you know, the upgrade of it for. I assume they're doing the same thing. is you'll get the
I think
upgrade for free. I think they're doing the
yes,
same.
I think Ubi's doing the free upgrade.
Yeah, so there's no reason not to, I suppose. But my point is, like, I would just make sure you're playing the next gen version. My gut tells me it's gonna have like really bad loading times on current gen, so next gen might be a little bit better just for quality of life. But this is for me. If you're a fan, it's a buy. If you have no idea what this game is about, if you don't like the concept of an open world game with a what I would consider probably a mediocre story. I assume this is just going to be a mediocre story. Uh, if none of those things are appealing to you, particularly if you're like a big story person, you may just want to wait till it goes on sale or something.
Yeah, you definitely have to like Ubisoft's open world model and their yeah, or the setting and like the I guess the tech focus with the London, the modern day London setting, or maybe even slightly futuristic, to be honest. Um, yeah.
That's
So are
yeah.
you're gonna well? So if you didn't have midterms, would you get this day one?
Yeah, I would.
Okay.
I would buy this day one. I don't know which platform because I'm not going to get a next gen system right away. I don't even know when because they all obviously sold out. So I feel like
I mean, the launch lineups aren't particularly great either, in my
yeah,
opinion. So
no, that's fair.
I'm
That's
waiting.
fair.
I'm waiting. I'm waiting as well.
That's fair.
They haven't sold me on it yet.
Yeah, that's fair. But yeah, if I didn't have midterms and I wasn't kind of focused on that, yeah, I would get this for sure. So, um, the next thing on our list we have here is Assassin's Creed Valhalla. I'm excited about this one. Another Ubisoft game. This one, I'm gonna do a quick summation of the idea. You technically are playing as a character in present day or present day of the game because I think it's going to be the future in the game to some extent. But you play as this character that goes back into their own. I don't even know how to explain it best, but you're going back into the memories of an ancestor, and in this case, you're going back to the ancestry of the Vikings. So you're going to play as one of the Vikings who is trying to settle and in this new place because they've been pushed out. The idea is I think they've been like pushed out of where they're currently living, so they settle in this new area, and you have to like build a settlement, and you like have to raid surrounding areas. But for the most recent Assassin's Creed games, they've adopted a completely open world style of game, and my guess is this will have not all of the same mechanics as Odyssey. They did say they're going to tone down on some of it, but at this point it's an RPG style game. You level up your character, level up some skills, increase your armor and things like that. Combat is action oriented, but I think the combat's in a good place now with the series. I do think it's in a good place. It's not like overly complex, but there is
Yeah.
some semblance of depth to it.
I haven't played it, so maybe I don't know. But the one sense I got from the combat in Odyssey is that the enemies seem really bullet spongy to me. They just take forever to kill.
Yeah,
Like,
if you're on their level, it's not too bad. But if you're under leveled in any way, yeah, they're gonna feel like it's gonna feel like they're tanks.
I
But
feel like they need to tone down the hit points on the enemy a little bit. They just take too long to kill from
they
what
do
I've
take oh yeah,
seen.
they do take a while.
Wow.
Um, the stealth approach does work for these games. I mean, stealth is a weird term for these because you're not that stealthy actually when you take people down, but it does a lot of damage in these games. There are different skill trees for it, and we've seen trailers of this, and I'm excited. This is if you like any of the Assassin's Creed recent titles, particularly if you liked Odyssey, this is like a day one you have to buy it. You just have to. It's gonna be in the same mold. You're gonna have tons of content to play through. Odyssey, I mean, I don't know how many hours I put into it, but I felt like I could put in more, and there's more stuff to explore. I think they did a really good job of having a lot of different things that you can explore. So this game, I'm hoping, has the same concept surrounding it. And yeah, if you're into that, 100% day one buy. This game seems like it'll be a lot of fun. There's like other quirky things in it that I think are going to be pretty interesting and
I
enjoyable.
I was seeing something I think last week. Yeah, I think it was last at the end of last week where I guess by default you you're gonna like swap between playing the male and the female. You're not gonna be necessarily like stuck on either, which
Oh,
seems really
interesting.
weird. So I don't know exactly how that's gonna work, but because I didn't
Okay.
like actually click on the article and read, but I saw a headline that was like, "Yeah, you can swap between playing male and female during the game" or something like that. So I don't know.
Okay. I'm not sure how I feel about that, but okay. They've had that before in Syndicate. You swapped between the male and female character. Yeah, I'll just say it. I'm not a fan of that for this series. I'd like to just play as one. It's a little bit better to just play as one of them
Yeah,
for me at least. So I think this is, if you like the series, buy it. If you're not a fan of the series, you don't like open world games. The story of these games, it's so weird because the story of when you go back in the past is decent, nothing special, but the present day story is so weird and confusing. I just ignore it. If you're sort of okay with the decent story, if you're looking for more, this isn't where you're going to get it. You're not going to get this really complicated epic of a story. You're just not. It's got a very streamlined storyline, and you're sticking to that. I mean, Odyssey was
well,
basically save your brother from a cult, brother or sister from a cult, and if you
I
didn't,
feel
whatever.
I feel like they tried complicated with the first couple of Assassin's Creed games, and it was a freaking train
And it
wreck.
didn't.
So
Yeah, that it did
yeah,
not last. It
and
did
they
not
just like,
last.
all right, let's just streamline. Like people know what they like in this series. They're not gonna dump the present day thing, but they're seem to be mostly focused on the past
Hmm.
stuff now, which is what people actually like um, in these games. So I mean, yeah, as Otto said, if you are a fan of Assassin's Creed or open world games, this is probably going to be a day one pickup. If you
Hmm.
don't like Assassin's Creed and or open world games, they are not going to probably change your mind with this one. I doubt they're going to change the mold that much
Yeah.
that they will change you from not liking it to liking it.
Right.
So
This Some of these titles, I will say, like Odyssey, for example, not that recently, but it's these titles have been known a year out to go on really low sales. I've seen Odyssey at some point during the summer. That's more like 2 years out. It went on sale for like $10 or less. If you're someone that's like, because I didn't play Odyssey till like a year plus after release. If you're more interested in like, or on the fence, wait a year. It'll go on sale for something like, honestly, $10 to $20. These games are known to go on sale often. So you can wait and get this for a great deal. And for if you got this game for like $20, that's a steal. Like Odyssey for $20 would have been an unbelievable steal.
yeah. So are
So
you are you gonna pick this? Are you gonna pick this one up too?
oh yeah, midterms will be over by then. It's gonna be mine. The thing is, though, I'm not sure if I'm gonna get it for Xbox One because I'm scared of the load times, but I might get it for PC. Might give it a shot for PC. Um, okay, this one I feel divided on. November 12th, Godfall comes out. This is the PS5 game. This is their launch title. That besides Demon Souls remake, they've really kind of hyped this up as their like big title coming out for PlayStation 5. I'm divided on this now. I was excited before, and I'm divided now. I'm divided because their trailers, I don't feel like have done a particularly amazing job of selling this game as well as they might have if they have done like something a little bit different. This for me, this game this game feels like something that will this feels a little bit not the same way, this feels like something that could happen with like Marvel's Avengers. I feel like this game is going to come out, it's going to have content, and then it's not going to do super well. And the content's either going to get delayed or they're just going to stop, and then it's going to be a complete bomb. Godfall feels like a game that this could happen. And the only reason I say this is because we'll talk about this later. You know, Destiny 2 is getting an expansion. I'm not saying these are the same type of game, but Destiny 2 we already know is super popular. Destiny 2 is dropping an expansion the same day Godfall is dropping. That's not good. That's really bad.
And actually, speaking of like, I mean, I guess it's definitely a different crowd, but the Genshin Impact 1.1 is supposed to come out like a day before that. I think it's supposed to come out on November 11th. So
there are things working against Godfall. I'm gonna say I don't think that's as big of a one. I think Destiny 2's expansion coming out that Destiny day is
definitely
bad for Godfall because Destiny 2 is going to get a raid. I'm sure a week or two later too. That particular expansion is going to get a raid in like 2 weeks. Yeah, this is bad for them.
It's a real spicy week. It's a real spicy week, and both the consoles released that week too. So
this is
don't they?
Yes, they released November 10th, and PS5 is November 12th, I believe.
Yeah. Okay.
This is bad. Godfall's gonna have a bad week. I'm scared it's gonna Marvel's Avengers. By the way, I'm just gonna call something that like completely starts out which is pretty exciting and then actually just bombs out because Marvel's Avengers is bombing out. We didn't mention this on the news part of it, but Marvel's Avengers delayed content. That game's dead at this point. They had to delay content. It's dead. Yep. Godfall, I feel like, is going to Marvel's Avengers, and it's unfortunate because this title is releasing the same week as all these different titles that hit all these different audiences. Demon Souls hits a specific audience that they're not going to want to go to Godfall. People are going to play Destiny 2 Beyond Light compared to Godfall. If you're a fan of that kind of game, Destiny 2 Beyond Light. Melody and Memory fans, people who are KH fans, you going to play Godfall or Melody and Memory? You're probably going to play Melody and Memory. Call of Duty group, you're not going to play Godfall, you're playing Call of Duty. Cyberpunk is a week later. That group is going to play Godfall for a week, and any sort of fan of Cyberpunk, which there's going to be many of, they're going to drop it and go to Cyberpunk.
Maybe, but I agree with you on Destiny. Like, Godfall's another, like, kind of, I don't know if it's open world, but it's, you know, a persistent, you know, build up your character looter game. Yeah. And I feel like people who are going to be into that are, as you said, already kind of on the Destiny train, and they're already invested in Destiny. They've already like built their character up, and they're going to be excited for the new Destiny expansion. So I agree with you completely. I think Destiny 2 is going to cannibalize the heck out of Godfall with that expansion.
Yeah. Like, I like Ghost's comment regarding why call it Avengers when you can call it Anthem. Anthem, it's like Anthem is. I feel like calling it an Anthem is like. I feel like Anthem's a little bit of an older thing, even though it's still applicable. Marvel's Avengers is happening right now. It's bombing right now.
I mean, Avengers is like the new Anthem. It wasn't as nearly as bad as Anthem. Like, it came out in an okay state. There was content. I heard the loot was pretty bad, but let's say there was at least some interesting loot, and like the game was generally pretty fun to play. Whereas Anthem was just kind of a train wreck all around.
Bad at all.
So like
everything.
It's not like Avengers was like a terrible game. It was just kind of a so-so game that was lacking in endgame content and good loot and needs more content, and they're delaying content, no surprise. And yeah, it's probably gonna die because of it. So yeah,
this game has been called a looter slasher. Terrible thing. Looter shooter sounds so much better than looter.
Terrible moniker.
I hate that moniker. Yeah. Okay, here's my opinion of this game. You gotta really you gotta be a fan of this type of game, looter slasher. We'll just stick with it, but not be as interested in Demon Souls, Destiny 2, KH Melody Memory, and Call of Duty, and understand that even if that's the case, you're only going to play it for a week because Cyberpunk comes out.
And Genshin Impact.
And Genshin,
also.
There's too much stuff. This game, it could be a good game, but it could bomb just because all these other great games are coming out. And
plus the audience is limited because the supply of the PS5 is so limited, and it's a PS5 exclusive. So, okay.
It's just like, you've
They
set
better hope that
yourself up.
they better hope that literally everyone who buys a PS5 is going to buy this game, which is not going to happen, by the way.
Yeah,
So
this is a game that tactically should have been delayed a few months. It should have tactically been delayed to try and get a release date where not all of this stuff is coming out. And like, look,
they can't though. They've been promoting
I
it as
know
like their
they can't.
killer app
They
exclusive
can't.
for PS5. They can't delay it after it's that. It's like
Yep.
no, this is our one thing. Though I guess Microsoft did that with Halo. They were promoting Halo as like the killer app exclusive for Xbox Series X, and they're like, nope, we got to delay Halo. Sorry, guys,
Yeah,
it's not ready. Like,
that's a different case in the fact that Sony really does care about console sales. I feel like
yeah, they do.
Microsoft doesn't care as much about it. They're like, yeah, whatever. Game Pass is what's going to sell. So
Game Pass.
I think that's, but still, like, yeah, it is like the big release title being delayed. Godfall should have been tactically delayed. I know they can't. This game should have been tactically delayed about 2 to 3 months because this, even a month would have been good if they had released this in December, like maybe a week after Immortals: Phoenix Rising. I feel like that would have been perfect for them. They would have gotten so much more exposure.
Man,
Destiny
even
2
no,
Beyond Light would have been.
I don't even know. I don't even know a month, like a week or two.
Mm-hmm.
Like maybe 2 weeks to avoid
Yeah, 2 weeks,
Cyberpunk.
yeah.
Let people play Cyberpunk first, and then go ahead. But yeah, like same day as like Destiny, right next to Call of Duty, Cyberpunk the next week. Kingdom Hearts. I feel like Kingdom Hearts. That's a completely different crowd. I don't know like how much that's gonna do.
It is
to
different, but still,
like
yeah, it's just like right
yeah,
now.
and Demon Souls as well. So
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
no, I think delay it 2 weeks to get it. I guess that would make it come out like right before Black Friday, which maybe is not a great idea, but I don't know. I feel like they should have delayed it a couple of weeks.
I'm just gonna say I think it's not gonna do well due to other releases, and I don't even think it's necessarily a buy or whatever game, but I don't think this is a buy right away game. This is like a,
Yeah,
which is too bad because
even if I was getting a PS5, this would be a wait and see. I'm just not sure. As Otto said, the trailers have done not super good service to it.
wait. I didn't. I looked this up. It said November 12th for the release date. Am I wrong on this for Destiny 2? I looked at this and it said the 12th. It's the 10th. I apologize. It is the 10th. So that's my fault.
Still the same week, 2 days earlier.
The article I checked said the 12th. So I'm gonna just tactically move this. But yeah, it is the same week. The point though was that's probably even worse for Godfall actually. Because this is already going to be out. So this is Godfall is going to fail because Destiny 2 and all these other games exist. It won't fail because of the game itself, I feel. It's going to fail because everybody else is going to be like, well, what am I going to play? An unknown or an expansion of a game that I already have put tons of time into? I don't know if I want to put my time into an unknown, especially an unknown that's limited to PS5. But any other thoughts on that besides what we've already said?
On Godfall, yeah, no. It's
Okay.
again, it's a wait and see. The trailers have not done it too much justice, I think, and yeah, there's a lot coming out that week. Yeah, I mean, maybe it will be good, but I agree. I think it might not do well just because of the timing.
Okay. Let's go backwards to Destiny 2. Yeah, I'm gonna make this simple. Do you play Destiny? Yes, buy it. Do you not play Destiny? Or like maybe are on the fringe of Destiny? If you're on the fringe of like, oh, maybe I want to get into Destiny now. First of all, you should get into it today. But second of all, if you're on the fence about Destiny, I would say maybe don't play Beyond Light right away. Play the free stuff. If you play Destiny, and if you play this, buy this. There's no reason not to. If you're already playing it and putting hours into it, buy it. If you're somebody that's played Destiny 2 and haven't played in a bit because you just haven't, like me, I'll still buy this. This is a game I still want to buy. Because I know the raid will come out. Yeah, bring me back.
It'll bring you back. To Destiny for a bit.
There's a new class coming out. There's obviously going to be new content. There's going to be a raid because it's expansion. There's going to be tons of stuff. This buy it. There's nothing else to say. If you play Destiny 2, buy it. If you are like maybe thinking about playing Destiny, don't buy it right away. Play the new light stuff. Although this would be the worst time to buy it is when the expansion hits because all that content's going away. There's a bunch of content going away, but maybe you're somebody that's like, oh, well, this new expansion came out. Why don't I play it? Don't buy it right away. Play the free-to-play stuff, and then if you really like it, buy it. But if you play this already, buy it. And there's a lot of people that play this. So that's all I have to say.
Yep. I mean, I don't play Destiny, but that's generally what happens with those sort of persistent games when they release expansions. A lot of people buy them and come back. So
Yep.
yeah.
So I'm going to... And that's not necessarily the case for everything. Like, just an example, Division 2. If you played Division 2, I actually would recommend you don't buy the expansion for it because the expansion just isn't worth it. I think. I'm sure at this point it's super cheap, but there's like some games where it's just like, well, this game doesn't actually get that much better with the expansion.
Yeah, that does
Yeah.
happen.
Okay.
And yeah,
Um, okay. So this Demon Souls remake is a PS5 exclusive. Yeah. I think we confirmed that.
I believe so. There was
Okay.
some confusion in some of the trailers because I feel like they said PC in one of the trailers and they like took it away. I
Mm-hmm.
have no idea, but I think for now I'm gonna assume it's at least a timed release for
Okay.
PS5 exclusive. I doubt it will come out on PC with the PS5 on November 12th. So I think you're looking at PS5 exclusive at least for a bit.
Yeah. Okay.
Um,
Well, let's say it's going to be PS5 exclusive for a decent amount of time. We'll say 6 to 12 months. Um. Okay. So this game is a remake from a game that was released. How long ago was this released?
it was on the PS3. I want to say it was. Ooh, I think it was when we were still in college. I want to say like 2009, 2010, maybe
Okay, we'll say
11.
10 plus
In
years
there,
ago. Yeah, something
in
like that.
there,
Okay,
in there.
about 10 years ago, and this was a. I mean, this game is reminiscent. It's like we know of Dark Souls, but Demon Souls, you know,
It was
predated
the
that.
ori-
It was the
It was the
original.
original. It was before, but it was before it got popular, and I think it was just hard to find after
Mm,
Dark Souls came out. I guess they probably just stopped production on it because it wasn't
sure.
that popular, and yeah, most people have played Dark Souls and they really like Dark Souls, but they never got to play
Yep.
the
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 previous.
original Dark Souls, which was Demon Souls.
So, if I'll just say gameplays like Dark Souls, I think it's fair to say that you're you're this character. I mean, from the trailers, you just look like a knight character. I'm sure you
A
play as a
dude,
person. Yeah, you just play as a
you're a,
dude.
you're a
We'll just say
dude.
you play as a dude, and you sort of have to navigate this like I don't even know what to say. It's like medieval style game, but at the same time, there's the fantasy elements to it
It's
as
high. I mean, it's
well.
high
Yeah,
fantasy,
high
right? There's
fantasy.
like
Yeah,
there's mages, there's undead, there's zombies, there's dragons,
yeah,
there's
yeah. High fantasy is good. Yeah,
gargoyles, and yeah, it's like high fantasy
yeah. So
setting.
high fantasy setting, and these games are just the big thing with is they're just exceedingly difficult, and that's I think like I just want to say it. That's like the main selling point of the game at this point. It's like just exceedingly difficult, and you have to navigate this high fantasy world with various different strategies. You know, really just I'm gonna say good, cool boss fights. And this, if you like challenging games, if you like Dark Souls, I guess as well, because I feel like if you like challenging games, you're gonna like Dark Souls. This is you're gonna want it. Big problem is this is a PS5 exclusive game, so it'll be kind of unfortunate where only PS5 folks can play it. But I mean, if you like super challenging games like Dark Souls, you're gonna like this, or
Yeah, I mean, if
like
if you've played other
Sekiro.
Souls games, yeah, the other Dark Souls games, Sekiro, Bloodborne, and you like those games, you're probably gonna like this. So yeah, I mean, it looks good. Haven't particularly gotten into those games. I played Bloodborne. I played most of Bloodborne.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and I liked some of it, but I don't know, the constant like repetition and having to like go back to a checkpoint every time I die and have to go through the same thing. I don't know. It wore on me a little bit, and I didn't finish Bloodborne, but
Right.
I enjoyed it for the most part. I think the games are cool. It's a cool concept. The games are fun.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I've been meaning to try Sekiro for a while, and I just haven't gotten around to it. Um,
I will say about this game as well. This game had unbelievably nice graphics.
Yeah, it looked
That's
really
that
good.
could be a really good selling point too. Is the graphics of this game looked really good.
Yeah.
I
Though
was really
the last
impressed.
trailer they showed for it did not do the gameplay justice because it was
No,
just
it
them
didn't.
like one-shotting enemies. I mean, they got to the boss and then actually died to the boss, but I'm sure that was intentional. But
Yeah, somebody
them
somebody
like
messed with the code. Somebody messed with the code.
yeah, they were just running through just one-shotting everything and
Yeah,
like you're gonna die to regular enemies in this game or like fall in a just get knocked off a cliff and die
yeah.
as well. So
It's kind of how it
um
goes.
yeah, you die a lot in these games. But yeah,
Okay.
I mean, again, if you're a fan of Souls likes, I think you're gonna like this one. It
Yep.
looks like
You'll like it.
they've done a good job with the remake. I won't be getting it obviously because I'm not getting a PS5 on release. So
Yep.
there you go.
Okay. Melody and Memory, I'll just let you take this one because I haven't played the demo yet, but I know it's a rhythm game, but I'll let you take it
Yeah,
first.
I mean, I think I'm gonna take a chunk of time on this because it's a Kingdom Hearts game, and if you guys know anything about me at this point, I love Kingdom Hearts. And B, a demo for it released last week on I want to say Wednesday,
Mm-hmm.
and yeah, people have been playing it, including myself. I've played it, and the demo is really dang fun. Like the game, I know some people were kind of iffy on it. They're like, no, I don't really want a melt rhythm game for Kingdom Hearts. Why don't I just make a real Kingdom Hearts game? You know, there's some of that going around. And other people that are like, yeah, this is great. Kingdom Hearts has great music. This is an awesome idea. Theater Rhythm Final Fantasy, those games were fun. And it's the same team that made those games, which are
Mm.
the Final Fantasy rhythm games. It's been a while since they made one, but those were on the DS and maybe no 3DS. But anyways, but yeah, same team that made Theater Rhythm Final Fantasy, Kingdom Hearts rhythm game. Again, Kingdom Hearts has great music. It's kind of hard to dispute that, to be honest. Though I'm sure you could find somebody out there who doesn't like it. And yeah, I mean the game is super fun. And actually, when you play the hardest song on the demo on Proud, it's actually hard. I mean, the other concern people had with it is like, oh, it's a Kingdom Hearts rhythm game. It's gonna be a baby rhythm game. It's gonna be super easy. It's gonna be a face roll. We're just gonna smash through it, whatever. And people played the demo, and the hardest song in the demo is "Wave of Darkness" from 0.2, which is the song where you fight the giant heartless tower or the giant
Okay.
heartless wave in 0.2 and in Kingdom Hearts 3 as well.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, that song's hard on Proud especially. So yeah, it's not a I mean, if you play on beginner or even standard for the most part, it's pretty easy. But yeah, Proud's not a joke.
Okay.
Um, and yeah, I mean the demo, as I said, is just super fun. I mean, I can't say anything other than that. Really, you should, if you have any interest in, if you're a Kingdom Hearts fan or a rhythm game fan or both, definitely go out and download the demo and give it a shot. It's on PS4, Switch, and Xbox, so pick your poison in terms of your console. This is a great game to get on Switch, in my opinion,
Oh, okay.
because take this on the go. Like you've got a game you can just like a Kingdom Hearts rhythm game you can just boot up whenever you want on the Switch and play a couple songs, whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, this sounds great for Switch to me.
Okay.
Uh, I'm planning on actually getting it on both PS4 and Switch. So, um, yeah, I would just say go out, play the demo, give it a shot. It's really fun. I haven't really heard anyone who's played it say anything bad about it so far. Everyone I've seen, whether it be content creators like YouTube, some previews I've read on some of the some media sites and such are all like, yeah, no, this is really fun. This is exactly what I want out of a Kingdom Hearts rhythm game. They do a great job of maintaining the style and feel of Kingdom Hearts while making a very sound, fun rhythm game at
Mm-hmm.
the same time, incorporating Kingdom Hearts mechanics into actually playing the rhythm game.
Yeah.
So,
Okay.
um, I guess I can give a basic rundown on how it works if you want me to do that.
Go ahead.
Yeah, so there's basically you have a team of 3 In the demo, it's Sora, Donald, and Goofy, which you would expect from Kingdom Hearts, that are kind of just running down this track. You don't control the movement or the speed of the movement at all. They just run in a straight line. And there are enemies like Heartless or Nobodies, depending on the song you're playing, that show up, and those are the cues that you have to hit during the song.
Okay.
So you can hit X, L1, or R1 to hit any note. It's not like each button corresponds to one of the three characters,
Got
like
it.
Sora, Donald, and Goofy. It's like if there's a single note, you can hit any of those three buttons to hit the note.
Okay.
If there's a double, you have to hit 2 out of the 3, and if
Okay.
there's a triple, you have to hit all 3. So very simple. So if there's just like a string of single notes, you can just like you don't want to mash because it's a rhythm game. You don't want to time it, but you just
Yeah.
keep tapping X, or you can alternate. You can do whatever you want. It doesn't matter.
Okay.
And then there are cues there'll be like arrows that show up. It's like an up arrow that shows up on the track that's telling you to jump. So you can there's red arrows, which are jump to dodge and attack, and you just hit circle to jump, just like you would in Kingdom
Mm-hmm.
Hearts. So a red arrow is just to jump and avoid like a projectile that's coming at you, so you just hit circle. And then there's jump and attack, so there'll be an enemy in this, which is indicated by a blue arrow, so you will hit the circle button to jump, and then hit X, or again any of the normal attack buttons to hit the enemy that's in the air.
Mm-hmm.
And then there are these little crystals that show up on the track occasionally, which are special abilities. You just hit triangle to activate those. And then finally, there are like glide sections, which is indicated by a green up arrow. Again, you have to jump, but then you hold down circle, and Sora will begin gliding, and you can control Sora's movement side to side with the control stick, and you have to hit like certain notes. So you have to trace the line basically and hit the notes during the glide. And occasionally there will be like boxes or enemies that show up on the side for Donald and Goofy while you're gliding, so you have to hit either. I guess you could hit X if you wanted to flick your finger, but it's better to usually hit L1 or R1
Yeah,
to
that would
hit
make
those
sense.
additional notes on the side there. Yeah, and that's all the basic mechanics as far as what's in the demo. So there's 4 songs in the demo. There's Welcome to Wonderland. There's Hand in Hand, which is the Traverse Town battle theme. There is The Rustling Forest, which is Enchanted Dominion battle theme from BBS, and there's Wave of Darkness, which is 0.2.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's two co-op songs, which are Sinister Shadows from Kingdom Hearts 2 and All for One from Dream Drop Distance. So yeah, there's a co-op mode. I assume there's going to be online, but I don't think you can play it online in the demo. I'm not sure.
Okay.
You can play it local. Yeah, and there's supposed to be 2 other like modes. There's going to be a story mode, obviously, in the main game, and there's supposed to be 2 other like song modes. There's one that's like they have actual boss battles, and then there's these like cutscene. They call them memory dies, but there's like a cutscene playing in the background with like the song going, and you obviously have to play along to the song. But there's none of those in the demo, so we don't know exactly how those work.
Okay.
So I kind of wish they would have included one of each of those in the demo just so we could see how they worked, but no such luck. But again, the basic field battle gameplay, which I think is going to be the majority of the songs in the game, is really fun, and I recommend anyone who is moderately interested in Kingdom Hearts and or rhythm games give the demo a shot, because I've had a ton of fun with it. Again, and everyone that I've watched, listened, or read really likes it as well. I mean, I really haven't heard a bad thing about the demo so far. So give it a shot. It's surprisingly fun and addictive. Even people that were kind of like on it before were like, no, I'm sold now. This game is really fun. So yeah, this is 100% a buy for me. I will be getting this day one 100%. And yeah, again, I think you can decide for yourself. If you're a fan of Kingdom Hearts or rhythm games, I recommend it, but why not just go play the demo and decide for
Sure.
yourself whether you like it or not?
Yeah.
So
Yeah, that would be the best way to do it.
yeah, and there's going to be over 140 songs in the game, so plenty of content to play. I think it is a full price game. It is $60, but I think it's well worth your money.
Okay. Let me strike that. Sounds good. Okay. I added this on here just because Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War. I'm just gonna say it. I'm not gonna buy this at all day one for sure. It's
Nope.
I've bought other Call of Duty games, and you know they're fine. It's Call of Duty. I don't know what you're expecting. You have to know what you're getting at this point. If you like shooter games, you're gonna like Call of Duty. Like I just know you will. The games aren't necessarily bad, unless you played Call of Duty Ghosts. Then you're probably thinking it's bad. But this one, this one to me from the trailers looks like a Fast and Furious game, type of game where it's just like, yeah, just turn your brain off and go run around and kill stuff.
I mean, when was Call of Duty not that? At least recently, it's
been that. It's been that recently, just because that's kind of what they want, and okay, that's fine. But it's a big title, of course, so gotta mention it. November 13th, it's coming out. So if you're a Call of Duty fan, you're gonna buy it. There's no question, of course. If you like shooter games, I think you'll want to buy this just because. It is important to note that there is no like battle royale with this one. Call of Duty Warzone is the battle royale game for Call of Duty for the foreseeable future. I don't know if they're going to do any more battle royales beyond that one, but previously Call of Duty had another battle royale. I believe it was called like just Call of Duty Blackout or something. And then they came out with Warzone, which was their more recent version of a BR game. So this will have zombies too. Because it's Treyarch. Treyarch likes zombie modes, so this will have zombies. If you like Call of Duty, the zombie mode, you'll probably want this game too, because I know a lot of people like the zombies mode. So that's all I have to say for that.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't bought Call of Duty in at least 2 or 3 years, so yeah, I'm not really interested in Call of Duty anymore. It's just kind of the same every year, and I kind of stopped liking it a while ago, or I found things that I'm more interested in playing, mostly RPGs, but that's me. Again, if you like Call of Duty, I'm sure you will like this, because
sure you'll enjoy it, yeah.
Just like Assassin's Creed, they're really not going to change it much. It's just going to be more of the same, and if that's what you like, that's what you like, and go for it.
Yep. I agree. Okay, we have to talk about Cyberpunk, of course.
CD Projekt!
Yeah, there's not much either of us could say to even sway you. I feel like if you know anything about the Witcher series, if you followed that series and liked it, you're probably just going to buy this on the fact that CD Projekt Red is making it. I mean, like, I can't say with 100% certainty that I will buy this, but wait, what is the most important launch of the year, by the way? I just want to know. Oh, is it the Hyrule Warriors game? I don't know when that's coming out. But yeah,
Oh yeah.
no one's gonna sway you if you even know of this game and want to play it. No amount of sway in either direction will pull you, really. If you know anything about the Witcher series and you like the Witcher series, you're gonna want to play this. It's the same developer / publisher because CD Projekt Red, I believe, is self-publishing. And yeah, I think for anybody that's played Witcher, I also think just generally speaking, if you like the style of game, this is a futuristic game, you might want to play this. So if you're interested in that, this is a buy for sure. If you don't know what Witcher is or any of that, I feel like it's also still a buy for you. This might just be curious enough where you want to give this a shot. You watch some trailers. CD Projekt Red does do a good job with their games, so I have no doubt in my mind this will be a competently made game, as opposed to some other developers or publishers we talk about. So this is definitely a buy. If you haven't played any Witcher games, or if you don't really know the developer particularly well and don't follow them, I think this is also a comfortable wait and see if you're not 100% sure you know anything about Witcher and such. But even if it's a wait and see, you should probably just like watch some videos of gameplay, and then you can make your decision after the fact. But I feel like even if you know anything about CD Projekt Red and Witcher, you'll want to buy this. So yeah, that's all I have to say on that. Cyberpunk is a buy. You're gonna buy it. You're gonna want to buy it. For sure.
Yeah, no. Cyberpunk is probably the most anticipated game of the year. Um, and that's saying a lot because there was stuff like FF7R earlier this year. Um, I played Witcher 3 a little bit. I didn't super get into it. Not to say that I didn't like it or it was a bad game. I just didn't get super sucked into it like most people did. Um, and yeah, I mean, I think there's just too much that I'm going to be playing around there for me to pick this up day one. If I see it and it looks cool, I may pick it up down the line, but this is not going to be a day one for me just because I'm not quite on the CD project hype train
Yeah.
that most people are, to be honest.
I can't say with certainty it's a first day buy for me, but I'm sure there's going to be some more stuff coming up to the release, and we'll see what that is. But I just know this is going to be a competently made game. So my concern isn't okay. Is the game going to be made well? My concern is what exactly is going to be going on with this game beyond that. Like what will I see that will make me feel like this is a day one buy? Beyond that, we'll see. But I know that there's a lot of fans of Witcher and the obviously CD Projekt Red, so this is a buy for all of them, of course. Some part of me also like, this thing is probably just gonna. If this is a good game in any capacity, I feel like this is just gonna win Game of the Year, just because.
Oh yeah, it'll
It's
100% win
gonna
Game of the Year, just like unanimously. Every publisher, every publication, every streamer, if they do Game of the Year show, like is just gonna be
It's just gonna be
across the board Game of the Year if it's good, which
in any way,
it's
yeah,
hard, if it's hard to believe that it won't be good.
Yeah,
to be honest,
hard to imagine it. Yeah.
CD Projekt does work quite hard and does put a lot of effort. This game's already been delayed like a number of times. So yeah, and every streamer on the freaking planet, at least the big ones, are going to be playing this day one.
Everyone will be playing this. I can't imagine.
There will be no lack of content. If you want to watch a stream of this game, pick your favorite streamer because I'm sure they'll be playing it.
So yeah. All right. Hyrule Warriors: Age of Calamity. This was added. Thank you, Try Courage, for letting us know about this. So this is a game that plays like Dynasty Warriors. Is there anything else I want to say beyond that? Not really. It's a Dynasty Warriors style game. So, but it's got a Zelda skin on it. I feel like the first one was just fine. I didn't hear any resounding issues with that. I feel like this one's going to be just fine. It's a prequel to Breath of the Wild. If you like Breath of the Wild, which I know tons of people did, I guess you might have some interest in this, although maybe, Breath of the Wild and this is a different style of game, obviously.
Definitely.
But,
very different style of game.
Yeah. I mean, if you played first Hyrule Warriors, I can't imagine you wouldn't want to play this one. If you like Breath of the Wild, you might just be interested enough in the story to play this one. And if you're someone that just likes Zelda in general, you may want to play it just because you like Zelda. For me, I didn't play the first Hyrule Warriors. We've already said our piece on Breath of the Wild. I honestly don't have any interest in buying this at all, but if you're a fan of all the other stuff that I just mentioned, you're going to buy it. Because it's a lot of people like this particular game, this particular style of game, Breath of the Wild, and all that. So I'm sure you guys will enjoy it. Really, I have no bad things to say about that piece of it, but I have no interest. It's just like, if it's good, it's good. Really, but I'm not into it really. just not my cup of tea.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't play the first Hyrule Warriors either. I did hear good things about it from most people, if not everybody.
Mm.
Um, and yeah, I hopefully they'll do justice to the story. This seems like an interesting way to do the prequel story to Breath of the Wild, which is like where most of the interest of the story from Breath of the Wild came from, was in like the lore
Mm.
of the world and what happened to the the heroes and that kind of, and Zelda and all that stuff. So we'll see if they can do the story justice in a Warriors game. Warriors games do not have particularly good reputation as far as stories go, so I'm going to be a little skeptical on that, but
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure Nintendo's working alongside them with that, so Nintendo will probably try to make sure they do a good job with it, so we'll see. Um, but yeah, I mean, I don't see any reason why this wouldn't be good or fun either, because the first one was good, and they're just doing it again, but they're putting a Breath of the Wild skin on it this time, as opposed to like a more just standard Zelda
Yeah.
skin, I
Yeah.
suppose. Um, yeah, I mean, I think it'll be fun. I've played my fair share of Dynasty Warriors slash Musou games in the past. It's been a while since I played one. The ones that I really was into was the Dynasty Warriors Gundam games. Again,
Mm-hmm.
for people who know me, know I'm a big Gundam fan, and Dynasty Warriors Gundam is just like amazing.
It's
But
so entertaining for an hour. Then you get burned out. You're like,
yeah,
okay, I'm done.
and then you're like, okay, this is the same thing
It's like, what
over
a
and
great
over and over
hour, and
again.
I'm done. Okay,
So,
I'm done.
but I'm sure we'll be seeing our boys Try and Blue coming back to Hyrule Warriors Age
Mm,
of Calamity speed runs like they did with the first one.
yes,
And
we may even see a return of a few streams from some of those folks,
oh
which would
boy,
be a real. That's the real news, if in my opinion.
yeah, that is the real
That's the
news.
real news. So, also the other news that came out of this is I heard. I heard that the big thing that I saw that some people were talking about, just our friends, was that you're going to see a younger version of Impa. I think it's Impa.
Yeah,
Um, yeah. So I guess that's a thing. I don't care, but
yeah,
I know a lot
people are going
people were
crazy
excited.
for young,
People were
for
very
young
excited.
Impa.
People were excited. So cool. Just cool. So yeah,
Yeah, I
for
mean,
those folks
again,
who are excited, yeah, have fun.
I doubt I will be getting this day one as well, because again, there's just other things that I'm going to be playing. Like Cold Steel 4 is going to take me at least a month to beat. It took me 2 weeks to beat Cold and 100 hours in game time, and 2 weeks
Uh,
when I was on winter break.
oh
Like,
man.
and I literally did nothing all day most days except play Cold Steel 3. And I'm pretty sure Cold Steel 4 is probably going to be around 100 hours again. And while I'm in school and we're still going to do the podcast and other things, yeah, it's going to take me quite a while to beat Cold Steel 4. And plus, I'll be playing Melody of Memory some as well once that comes out on November 13th. So
I will say, I'm going to say it now, actually. When this comes out, I'm thinking it's already like, it is a month out. I'm looking at my calendar real quick. I just want to make sure. This comes out the 20th, which is a Friday. On November 20th. I'm looking this correctly. That means potentially there could be a podcast. We could bring the Hyrule Warriors crew and they could talk about it. That could
yeah,
be
we
a
sure
thing.
could.
That could be a thing. That could be a thing. And so that's something we'll think about for sure. And the last thing on my list, unless there were other stuff.
Nope, I don't
Okay.
have anything else. I think I don't remember when, and I don't really care, so I don't have much to say about it. I think the next Pokemon DLC is coming out November sometime as well, or did that
Cool.
already come out? I don't even know.
I don't know,
Like,
but cool.
I don't care.
I just don't
But
care at all. It's actually unbelievable how little I care. It's like I keep seeing stuff for it. I'm like, wow, I just don't care. Just don't care. Don't care. It's kind of crazy right at this point how much I just like, whatever. Don't care. So okay, the last thing I have on here is a December release. It's Immortals Phoenix Rising. This is the game that
the third Ubisoft game on this
third
list.
one. Yeah, Ubisoft has 3 games coming out each of these months, October 29th, November 10th, and December 3rd. This one though this is a new IP for them. This is
Yep.
an open world game. It's set with Greek mythology in mind, and this game is Ubisoft's Breath of the Wild. I'm just gonna say it.
Yep.
I have to
it
say
sure
it.
is. It's
Uh,
Ubisoft's Breath of the Wild, or Genshin Impact if you prefer that.
Yep.
Though it's not going to be a gacha game, so it's not Genshin Impact.
Let's just say Breath of the Wild for now because it's not going to be a gacha game.
It's more Breath of the Wild because it's not. It's going to be a $60 non-gacha game. So
I would say the main differences here are the combat appears to be more, we're going to say, action styled in that you have skills. You have skills. I know in Breath of the Wild you had like, you could throw those like bombs and you could make ice. Those I will say are skills, but these skills are more dedicated towards action skills. So we're gonna say that's separate for now, in my opinion. I think that this game had a great art style. There definitely was a good art style with it. I really liked what I saw. We obviously don't know much about the intricacies of the story. But this game is really interesting. There's a couple downsides to this. Number one, the demo's on Stadia. I have to mention it. Why'd you put the demo on Stadia?
God, I forgot about that. Why'd you have to remind me?
I had to. I'm sorry. It's a part of the game. I'm sorry. You can't play a demo because nobody has Stadia. I'm sorry, 5 people have Stadia. My mistake. So 5 people might enjoy it, but all the rest of us, mere mortals that have not gone on the level of Stadia's glory,
Blue has that one friend who really loves his Stadia. Everyone else is like, oh, God.
And
Stadia.
Everybody's just like, oh, come on. And with this game, I think this is a day one buy. I think this is a day one buy. Nothing that we've seen as of yet, which isn't a ton, but nothing as of yet has steered me away from how I felt early on, which is I was really intrigued by this. This seemed really intriguing. I think this is, for me, a day one buy. Nothing as of yet has come out that has made me think otherwise besides the Stadia demo being, that's just stupid. But this is a day one buy. I really don't know exactly what system, this will be a day one buy for me. I have no idea if at this point I'll be like, okay, I need to go get a next gen console or not. I don't feel like that'll be the case, but this for me is a day one buy. I can't imagine this not being. We've said our piece on Breath of the Wild and stuff, but this style of game, this kind of art style and everything, I'm going to lump the 3 together, even though that's probably going to do a disservice for some people. There's a lot of appeal, so I'm interested. I think day one buy for me.
Yeah, I mean this game really took me by surprise at the last Ubisoft Forward, which was, I don't remember when, like a month ago or so. I don't exactly remember when it was, but yeah, and I think I agree. I mean, yeah, this one might be a day one buy for me as well. It really impressed me when we saw it at Ubisoft Forward. I think I agree with Otto. The art style looked great. The open world looked cool and fun. The combat looked fun as well. Yeah, I mean, yeah, it just looks good. I don't know what else to say. It was it was a big surprise and quite impressive at the as I said, at the last Ubisoft event that was like a month ago. Again, the Stadia demo is stupid, but
yeah, I hate that.
I'm sure Google paid Ubisoft a pretty penny for that. So
I sure did.
It is what it is. What can you do? I don't think Ubisoft's going to turn down free cash for their exclusive demo.
No, they're not.
Whatever.
No, they're not. I don't actually blame Ubisoft that much, to be honest. I do blame them obviously because they did push the button.
I mean, it's kind of it's a bad look for like, yeah, everyone who's like, yeah, Stadia sucks. Why would you do this?
Yeah, it was like, come on, this sucks.
Nobody has Stadia.
All I remember was everybody was just like, really, Stadia? They said that, like, Stadia demo. Like, God, you ruined it. Yeah. Oh, man. But, yeah, this is day one buy. I don't know how many of these I said day one buy for, but I feel like at least, 3 of these are day one buys for me. I feel like at least 3. And This has definitely got to be one of them. So, any other stuff you want to add on to this one?
Nope, I
Okay,
don't think so.
I'm gonna go ahead and strike it out. Uh, so I know it is a little bit. Usually we go 2 hours, but I want to do one last thing before we end today. If you had maybe name the games in here that are for sure day one buys for you. So we might have gone over. We went over all of them obviously, but start from the top, go to the bottom. Name your day one buys. Don't even say the ones that you're just not thinking day one buy.
Cold Steel 4, Melody of Memory,
Okay.
and Immortals.
Okay. Right then. So that's like your 1, 2, 3. Mine is going to be for sure Valhalla. I'm going to lump the expansion in there. I think the expansion is going to be a day one. So I've got 2 day one buys in there, which is a little scary for me. Uh, I'm not getting the new gen system, so I can't really say any of these, unfortunately. I want to play the demo first. I can't say for certain it's a day one buy for Melody of Memory. Sorry.
Yeah,
I got to
you
play the
haven't
demo
tried it.
first.
Yeah, you haven't tried it yet.
I think that's fair.
Hopefully you'll get addicted just like the rest of us, but maybe not.
And then I do think Immortals Phoenix Rising. No disrespect to Hyrule Warriors and all that, but it's just not my cup of tea. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Try Courage, if you're there. It's just the way the cookie crumbles for me. Now, if this was Gundam Warriors Age of Calamity, I'm in.
No. If this was Dynasty Warriors Gundam 5
Okay.
or whatever we're on, no, I'm in on that.
Then I'm in
for sure.
Dynasty Warriors Gundam Age of Calamity. I'm in. But I'm sorry, it's just not the same without the Gundams in there. It's just not the same.
Yeah.
Okay, so we've sort of talked about all these upcoming releases. We talked about some of the ones we're thinking day one buys for. I don't know. That's all we really had for today, as far as what we had talked. We had planned in here. Or is there anything else you want to bring up? And I know we talked a little bit about Genshin earlier. I don't really have anything else to say regarding that.
No, I don't have anything else to say about Genshin either. I've been playing daily, doing my daily quests, spending my resin, but not much else.
Yep.
In Genshin, because as we've talked about, the content's a little dry.
Yeah, it's a little dry right now, so we'll hold off on that. Obviously.
We'll wait for 1.1. But yeah, I was I guess I kind of forgot about some of these releases, and I was thinking it wasn't going to be a super great like fall coming up, but looking at this list that we went over today, I was like, man, we got a pretty hype next month and a half or so of game releases to look forward to. And again, for me, starting next week with probably not cool. Yeah, I could say Melody of Memory, but it's still a rhythm game. I know I love Kingdom Hearts, but Cold Steel 4 is the hypest of them all for me. This game is, as I said, it's the culmination of a 4-game saga of a long-running series, and yeah, it's gonna be epic. So again, if you're not a Trails fan, I'm sorry that I'm gushing about it so much.
No,
but
you're good.
I
mean, we've had other stuff that we've taken some time on. I will say that there's a lot of good stuff in here. I mean, really, there's some, even the stuff that I said wasn't a day one buy, like Watch Dogs Legion. I still want to play it at some point. I do. So I would say the only ones I really have zero interest in playing, like Godfall. Unfortunately, I'm not even gonna have a PS5 to play some of these right away, so can't really say anything about those. And that's there's some good stuff coming up. Really, this fall it's a good fall. It is a good fall for people who enjoy games.
The only games on here that I have zero interest in, and is very unlikely that I would get ever, even on a sale, are the Destiny 2 expansion. I don't play Destiny.
Yeah,
so
no, that's fair. That's fair.
You go. And Call of Duty, because I just don't play Call of Duty anymore. I just don't care. Everything else is at least kind of on my radar. Even Godfall, it's if I get a PS4 down the line and it ends up it was good, yeah, maybe I'll check it out.
Yeah.
I said PS4, I mean PS5.
PS5,
yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, that was all we really had for today. I think that, yeah, we sort of said our piece on Genshin very early on. So there's No, I'll save it for later. I was gonna say, so just to do some quick closing updates. For example, for for the plays days, plays this week and probably next week, possibly for further on. There might be some schedule changes in general. We're talking about it behind the curtain. There also for plays, it might just be me this week, and for plays, I don't think we're going to do Genshin this week if it's just me. I may I may start up a Baldur's Gate run. I fixed the Baldur's Gate streaming. I guess when you have Bloom set on your game settings, does my stream doesn't like that. So I turned
Just
off Bloom.
tanks it.
I did a little test. The test was good. So hopefully I'll be able to stream Baldur's Gate 3 this week and possibly further on for the days that Spoon won't be joining me, just because Spoon's going to focus a bit on school. And hopefully you guys will join me for that if you're interested. I mean, Baldur's Gate 3 is, it's a D&D style game. I think it's really fun and interesting. I think the interactions are great with characters, and hopefully people will come by and actually help me make the character. I don't know what time I'll be doing that, but hopefully people can join me so we can make the character together. I'm thinking maybe this Wednesday for that. So we'll see. I think it'll be fun, and assume for plays it'll just be me for at least this week, possibly next. And I will say again, we'll do full transparency as well, that the podcast date may be shifting. We're not 100% sure, so I don't want to say it ahead of time and just say, yeah, it's set in stone, but the date might be shifting. So we'll see about that too. And if you follow all of our socials and such, you'll know ahead of time if that is the case. So please be sure to follow all of our stuff and help us spread the word. We really do appreciate and hope that you can help us with that. Also, if there are things that we should be talking about, I know there's a lot of game stuff coming out in the next month or so. If there is, something that we should be talking about that you would like us to sort of discuss in detail, you should let us know. We've talked about Genshin for the last couple weeks. I obviously will touch on it every so often, but I can't imagine we'll have as much Genshin content as we've had for the last 2 to 3 weeks. So
Yeah, no, not probably until the big patch comes out in should be 3 weeks away
yeah,
at this point on November 11th. We'll probably talk about it
for sure.
more extensively again then, but I'm gonna assume the next 3 weeks are gonna be kind of more the same. Maybe there'll be another event in there at some
Yep.
point that we can do or talk about, but
Yep.
I think it's gonna be more of the same with Genshin, so not too much more
Yep. But
to talk about there.
yeah, we'll see. So thanks everybody for joining. I guess we're going to end early today just because.
Yeah,
Uh,
that's fine.
I've said my piece about following and making sure you're staying up to date.
Yep. And tell
And
us with the if you're watching on YouTube, let us know in the comments what games on our list you were interested in or not interested in, and if there are any that we missed, you can tell us about
yeah,
that too.
because
that
I only
you're
pulled
hyped
from
for.
one article. So yeah, please do let us know if there's stuff that we missed, because I know we definitely missed a few things.
I'm sure we missed stuff.
Yeah, we definitely missed stuff. In particular with expansions and updates. Those are also nice to talk about. So thanks everybody for stopping by and watching, and hopefully we will see everybody. Hopefully I'll see people when I play Baldur's Gate 3. Like I said, I think it's really fun, and next Monday we'll be back. So thanks everybody, and we will see you guys for those days, hopefully.
Good night.
Yep, have a good night, good rest of your day.